Hey guys, so it's been a while since I uploaded any videos related to the car, and I think you guys deserve some context on what happened to me and my car. Okay, so I was driving and I was trying to shift gears when I pressed the clutch pedal and just went all the way inside. See? And I had to return it like this. And then the car just refused to shift afterwards. So I called the towing service and they said it shall be arriving around an hour to an hour and a half. It's now 2:34, so we'll see. So I know I was mumbling all over the place in that video, but that's because I was very tired. This happened back in September of 2023. It was the day right after my track day. Can you imagine that? So I'm really thankful that nothing serious happened on the track day itself, and this happened somewhere on the road, and thankfully this happened late at night where there were barely any traffic on the road. Anyway, to get you guys back up to speed, what basically happened was I was on my way home cruising. I was not speeding at all, and I started to notice that the clutch pedal started feeling light. So at first there was a bit of resistance and I was able to shift gears, but after a while it started to get really soft. And then there even came a point where pressing the clutch engages and disengages the clutch. And what I mean by this is essentially I had to press the clutch, release it, shift into gear, press the clutch again and release it so that the car switched into the selected gear. And this happened for about 2 to 3 minutes before I pressed the clutch one last time, and then the clutch pedal just sank and did not return. I tried to shift, but then I felt resistance in the transmission, so I couldn't shift. Then I thought to myself, okay, the safest thing to do right now is to check my surroundings, push it into neutral, and then just glide to somewhere safe and by the side of the road. So this is what happened, and this is what you guys are seeing right now. So ever since I bought this car, I did suspect that something related to the clutch was having an issue, but I couldn't tell what exactly it is. What happens is that sometimes when it gets hot or when I'm in traffic, the clutch seems to slip or refuse to disengage. There were times when I was driving in first gear, and then when I shifted to second, I tried to release the clutch as smooth as possible, but somehow it feels like I didn't release the clutch at all. So when I started pressing the throttle, you guys can actually hear the car revving, and then it just suddenly releases, it's like a clutch kick kind of feel, but like a semi-clutch kick. I don't know how to describe it. Some say it was a clutch slip, but I don't know if that's the true terms for it. I know clutch slipping happens when you're shifting really fast, but in this case I was driving shifting from first to second, and then yeah, that happened. So luckily I did do some research beforehand, and as it turns out it was one of the clutch cylinders giving up. So I'm not too sure if it's the master or the slave cylinder that gave up on me, but the car is about 15 to 16 years old at this point, so it doesn't really matter. I mean, I guess it's wear and tear, and the time has come for it to get replaced or something. Long story short, I was stranded by the side of the road at 2 a.m. and then I called a tow truck, which took about an hour or an hour and a half for it to arrive, and it was even raining while I was stranded there. Yes, I was alone. I did contact a couple of friends, but most of them were far away, so it's okay. I don't mind. Sitting in the car did allow me some time to reflect on my ownership experience, but I didn't really regret it because it's to be expected when you own a used car, especially a car that is this old. And one thing for sure is that before my ownership, the car was not driven as actively. It never saw track time. It wasn't driven as much as I do now. So I guess, parts wear and tear just happens. It's natural. So once I reached home, I went to bed, and then when I woke up, I contacted Asyong, my mechanic for this car. He is a Rotary specialist, and he said this is a common problem and it's to be expected, I guess. I sent him the video and he said yes, it is indeed the clutch cylinder having a major failure. That said, I told him I'll be sending my car to his shop, and I contacted my insurance company to arrange a tow truck to send the car to his shop. Anyway, while I'm at the shop, might as well do a couple of things, right? So Aseong gave me the choice of picking two options. It's either I go for a clutch cylinder rebuild kit where they replace the seals, or I get a brand new clutch cylinders. So if you guys have been following my videos in the past, you guys might know which route I might go for. And yes, I went for brand new cylinders. So I got myself a brand new clutch master and slave cylinders. It's better that way, just save yourself the headache. If your car never replaced these two parts, might as well go for it before you get stranded by the road like I did. And if you guys watched the previous track day video, I did mention there were 3 other issues that were very prominent and I wanted to fix almost immediately. So first thing first, the temperature rising from time to time. It doesn't spike when I'm cruising in town or idling in traffic for an extended amount of time or things like that. But it will spike on spirited drives, and on track it did spike up, but I managed to get it cooled down almost immediately. This was an issue with the thermostat. Apparently, the previous thermostat looks fine, but then it was not opening up fully, which has caused me to overheat. Next up is the oil lamp turning on track. At first we thought it's because my car does not have any baffle pan, so when I'm turning hard and the G-force is too strong, things like that, the car is facing some oil starvation. Luckily that is not the issue. Basically in the Mazda RX-8 oil sump pan, there is a sensor. So this sensor has like a fluid inside of it. So what essentially happened is that my previous sensor was no longer moving, it was stuck at a certain point, which triggered the oil lamp indicator. My oil level was fine, but the sensor was sticking to one side of the oil pan, which triggered the oil lamp indicator. My oil sump was also leaking. I guess I overlooked that when I purchased the car. But killing 2 birds with 1 stone, I decided to fix that leak. We straightened up the oil pan and then gave it a new gasket, and it's good now. Oh yeah, fun fact, I do have an oil baffle installed on my oil pan. If you guys own a Series 1 RX-8, there's a high chance you do not have it. But what you can do is look for it from a Series 2 RX-8. Mine probably came with it because my Series 1 RX-8 was produced towards the end of the Series 1 run, which was in 2007. Aside from those two, I got the thermostat replaced with another OEM one, which turned out to fix most of the overheating issues. Most of it. And if you guys saw me sliding around in Sepang on the previous track day, that was because of a very bad suspension leak. Anyway, since the car is left in the shop for a long while, I thought might as well get a few more things fixed. I had the rear suspension rebuilt instead of replacing them, and they were sent back to BC Racing's HQ here in Malaysia, and then when I got them back, they were great. Much more stiffer than before, and I really enjoyed the drive. So there was like one day where Aseong called me and said that okay, my car is ready to be collected. And then he also said that, oh yeah, you mentioned that you want to get your engine mounting replaced. And then he said that he just received 1 set of engine mounts for a manual transmission RX-8. And I'm like, oh wow, I spent a lot already. Am I gonna spend more to get the car fixed? Of course I am. So yeah, I did tell him to proceed with it and get new mountings. Okay, I'm gonna read off my book of receipts because I do keep track of everything I have done to the car. I got the car service with new engine oil and oil filter as usual. And then I got a set of brand new clutch pump for the master and slave cylinders. Then I had the oil pan repaired, which includes a new gasket as well as getting the oil level sensor replaced. On top of that, I also replaced the thermostat with the brand new one, original. Then I got both of the suspensions rebuilt by BC Racing themselves. And then finally I got a brand new engine mount, which kind of fixed a lot of things. So we're going to go and pick up my car now, and Marsha will drive Spirit back home while I drive the Mazda RX-8, also known as Miyuki. So it's been about 4 days since I last seen the car. A lot of stuff has been done to it. Some are like replacement of parts to brand new ones. Some were like fixed due to certain reasons. Marsha told me to tell you guys how much I spent on this particular service on this particular workshop visit, I'll think about it. I know initially I said in the last video that I wanted to fix the car slowly as time goes on, but I really don't like visiting the workshop once every month or so. So yeah, one workshop visits and I try to tackle a lot of stuff in one go. Okay, we have arrived at PJ. I saw my car being popped up front just now, so I'm going to go and check it out and see what has been done to it.
Wow, cantiknya. Dia nak mimpi. Checking his car.
So over here we have a Series 1 RX-8 being converted to a Series 2. So you had changed the steering and some part of the center console has been changed. I think it's an automatic. And yep, so it's going to need some replacement.
Tôi dia lama dia atas. So hari tu kita ialah dia tak licin lah. Macam ada tengok sini ada satu macam makan pipik.
Oh ya,
Semua sudah crack lah.
Ya.
Yang baik ni lah tak ada macam crack. Okay. Itu atas sofa ialah tengok tak ada masalah, tapi dia itu sudah dia satu yang better, satu yang tinggi dia I show kasih minyak. Dia tanah hydraulic minyak. You tengok itu yang minyak. Dia itu menu sini tengah ada satu macam besi minyak barang. Okay. Kalau auto ialah boleh tekan habis minyak. Tekan habis minyak.
Kenapa dia macam tu? Berat untuk
maybe
transmission.
Dia vibration sama exhaust panel. Kasih exhaust panel vibration. Sebab
So, malam ni ada duit nak makan tak?
Cari mana I punya jet tak jumpa. Hey guys, so I'm finally back in the car and I have to say that I really do miss driving this. Anyway, immediately after starting the car, I can tell it feels so much different than before. One of the most noticeable difference is there is less vibration in the car. This is because I replaced the engine mounting to a brand new Mazda ones, and the transmission no longer vibrates, the steering no longer vibrates, and sitting in the car just feels like very pleasant even at idle. Immediately something that I noticed is that it's easier to enter the reverse gear now. So previously I had issues of entering the reverse gear. I had to like do it a couple of times, especially on hills or something like that, because the engine and transmission were like not aligned. So it made it quite difficult to actually be in gear in one go. The clutch pedals feels more firm now. It's quite responsive as well. Honestly, this is how I vision driving a new RX-8 feels like, and I have to say it feels so good. So funny story I have to tell you guys is that initially I thought I was still bad at driving a manual transmission, so maybe that's why I'm not shifting as smoothly, maybe that's why I'm having troubles entering gears and so on and so forth. And turns out it's just the engine mounting. It feels nice. The car is so responsive, like it just clicks whenever I shift the gears, and there's no more like jerking. There's no more like sudden jerks after shifting gears or anything like that. The newly rebuilt suspension though, it's much more stiffer than before, and that's not bad at all, because I really did wish these BC Racing coilovers are way more stiffer than what they offer you, because even with almost maximum clicks, maximum stiffness. It's still not enough for me. And on track, I really wish there's like at least double of whatever stiffness they give from factory. The car is so much more quieter now because vibrations from the engine and the exhaust is not like inside the cabin.